Good morning, class. Today I'll be discussing with you different specificity exhibited by enzymes. Okay. So before that, let us also go through some information about enzymes. Okay. Most of the enzymes are protein that accelerates the velocity of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. Okay. In that, catalytic activity of the enzymes is very, very important. Their catalytic activity is high since a very small amount of enzyme can bring about a change in a large amount of the substrate. For example, one molecule of the enzyme brings the decomposition of about 600,000 molecules of hydrogen peroxide per second to water and oxygen at body temperature. Okay, so now let us go through the different this specificity exhibited by enzymes. Before that, let us understand what is this specificity. Enzymes are highly specific in their action. They show specificity, that is only a specific enzyme can act on a particular substrate. They exhibit different types of specificity. Are the different enzyme specifications are as follows, namely absolute specificity, group specificity, and stereo specificity. Okay. Next, let us go through here absolute specificity. The enzymes that catalyze the reaction of only one substrate are said to exhibit absolute specificity or 100% specificity. Or you can also write some enzymes will act only on one particular substrate. Such enzymes are said to exhibit absolute specificity. Okay, for example, I have given more examples here. You can write any one example. Carbonic anhydrase that catalyzes synthesis of carbonic acid. You can write another example. Urease, it catalyzes the hydrolysis of only urea. Write the reaction. Okay, succinate dehydrogenase, that is SDH, catalyzes the conversion of succinate to fumarate. Okay, write that particular reaction. Now let us go through the group specificity. Few enzymes act on structurally related group of compounds, or you can also write the enzymes which catalyze the reaction of closely related substrate are to exhibit group specificity. For example, lactate dehydrogenase. It catalyzes the interconversion of pyruvic acid and lactic acids. Okay, write the reaction. Next, another example, exokinase catalyzes the phosphorylation of all exos due to the presence of the identical groups, that is same structure. Okay, write that particular structure. Next example, alcohol dehydrogenase oxidizes both ethanol and methanol. Okay, the enzymes like pepsin and trypsin, which hydrolyze peptide bonds, also belong to this particular group. Okay, I have given many examples, but while writing in the exam, please go watch your time and write the examples. Any one example is more than enough. Okay. Next, let us go through stereochemical specificity. When an enzyme action depends on the stereochemical configuration, that is, if it acts on only one pair of optical isomers, is called stereospecificity. Okay, example, D-amino acid oxidase oxidizes D-amino acids, not L-amino acid. The enzymes which catalyze the reaction of a specific stereoisomer exhibit this type of specificity. Another example, lactate dehydrogenases, LDH, oxidizes only L-lactate but not D-lactate. In reverse, the pyruvate is reduced back to L-lactate only but not to D-lactate. Okay. Another example, fumarase catalyzes the conversion of fumarate by adding H2O, that is across double bond, forming L-malate. In reverse, L-malate gives only fumarate and only L-malate in hydrated but not D-malate. Okay, so this is all about the specificity exhibited by enzymes. Okay, you must get ready with all these answers for the question. They may ask you, or you can make a note, what are the different types of specificity exhibited by enzymes, explained with example. Okay, directly do not start with the specificity exhibited by enzymes. First write about what is that specificity, then write the three specifications of the enzymes, then go on explaining absolute specificity, group specificity, stereo specificity, Explanation with example, explanation with example, explanation with example. Okay. And further, they may also ask you individually some of the questions like give an example for stereochemical specificity of enzyme, or give an example of group specificity, or give an example of absolute specificity. So here is one answer I'm giving here. If they asked give an example for stereochemical specificity of enzymes, you can write this information. Okay. Enzymes are specific in their action. Okay. The specificity of enzymes is due to their ability to distinguish between similar group in a substance, and also the orientation of groups in space. Okay. Enzymes can identify specific stereoisomers and can catalyze them. For example, LDH catalyzes the conversion, that is oxidation of L-lactate into pyruvate, but it cannot oxidize D-lactate. In the reverse direction, the optically inactive pyruvate is converted back to L-lactate but not D-lactate. Okay, you can write this answer for your stereochemical specificity. Okay. Further to add, you can also think here about the thermosensitivity or thermolabile or pH sensitivity. Thermosensitivity here, the enzymes are sensitive to temperature changes, right? The temperature at which an enzyme works at its best is called optimum temperature, where rate of reaction will be very high and catalyst will work with the proper rate. For several enzymes, it lies between 25 to 45 degrees Celsius. At low temperature, the enzyme is ineffective, whereas at high temperature, that is above 65 degree, they are destroyed. Hence, enzymes are said to be thermolabile. Okay, but there are some enzymes which will be very resistant to very high temperature. For example, Taq DNA polymerase, Thermus aquaticus DNA polymerase, which were isolated from Thermus aquaticus organism, which survive in hot springs. Okay, so that differs with some of the specification, but most of the enzymes are thermolabile or thermosensitive above 65 degrees Celsius. Now let us also go through here pH sensitivity. They are highly sensitive to pH changes. Okay, both temperature and pH matters a lot. If low pH also, they are unable to show the rate of reaction. If they are low temperature also, they are unable to show. Which high temperature also, they are not going to be show the rate of reaction. Same thing for pH. If high pH also, they will be very inactive. They're active at a particular range of pH only. It ranges between 6 to 7.5. Kindly keep in your mind about this reversibility of enzyme reaction. They catalyze reactions in both ways, that is, they act in either directions. It may catalyze the splitting of one molecule into two or unite two molecules into one. The enzyme catalyzed reactions occurs at an asymmetric cleft of the enzyme called the active site, at which substrate will bind and get converted to products. Okay, the enzymes function by lowering the energy of activation required for chemical reaction to proceed. Okay, an enzyme or protein should be in its native conformation to be biologically active. The three-dimensional conformation of enzymes have a particular site, right, where the substrate binds properly and it is acted upon. Okay, this site is called active site. The active site is marked into two specific areas like binding site and catalytic site. Okay, the binding site where the substrate binds and catalytic site where the enzyme catalysis takes place. Okay, further, the amino acids present at the active site are tyrosine, histidine, cysteine, glutamic acid, aspartic acid, lysine and serine. So these are some of the amino acids in general you will be able to find at the active site. In aldolase, lysine is present at the active site. In carboxypeptidase, two tyrosine residues are present at the active site. Active site means that is in the region where you can see that in the enzymes. You know better, all enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. It means enzymes are basically made up of polypeptide chain, right? Ribonuclease has two histidines at the active site. Further, Michaelis-Menten established the theory of combination of enzyme with substrate to form the enzyme-substrate complex. According to this, the enzyme combines with the substrate on which it acts to form an enzyme-substrate complex. Okay, then this enzyme is liberated and the substrate is broken down into the product of the reaction. Okay, kindly go through the reaction. Okay, the enzyme substrate complex is also called as Michaelis-Menten complex. Okay, so this is all about today's class about specificity exhibited by enzymes, okay, and also about the active site in general. Okay, hope I made myself crystal clear to you. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video. For more videos, stay tuned with me. Thank you.